You're listening to the Shared Security Podcast, exploring the trust you put in people, apps, and technology, with your host, Tom Eston. In episode 106 for February 3rd, 2020, what you need to know about Facebook's new off-Facebook activity tool, details about the Ring Android app sending user data to third-party trackers, and new developments in the Wawa credit card breach. Do you use a key fob for unlocking and starting your car? If you do, you need to be aware of an increasingly popular attack that thieves are using to steal cars called a relay attack. A relay attack is where a thief can take the signal from your key fob and boost it to break into your car or steal it. Now, the most elegant and simple way to protect your car from this attack is by putting your key fob in a silent pocket key fob guard Faraday bag, which can block all wireless signal. Get yours today by picking one up at silentpocket.com. And because you listen to this podcast, take 15% off during checkout by using discount code SHAREDSECURITY. Welcome to the Shared Security Weekly Blaze podcast, where we update you on this week's most important cybersecurity and privacy news. These podcasts are published every Monday and are 15 minutes or less, quickly giving you news that you can use. Last week, Facebook finally released its highly anticipated off-Facebook activity tool, which will allow Facebook users much greater control over third-party tracking. This new tool, which should be rolled out to everyone's Facebook account by now, shows you a list of apps, websites, and services that Facebook knows you visited through things like signing up for apps with your Facebook login, Facebook's tracking pixel, and those social widgets such as those like and share buttons you see all over the web. You can also disconnect any personal information that Facebook has linked to your account. This is a well-needed privacy tool that all Facebook users need to take advantage of. Keep in mind, this will not prevent customized ads from showing up on Facebook, but it's a big help in limiting the data that Facebook collects about you. Now, in typical Facebook fashion, the tool itself is a bit buried within your Facebook settings, especially if you're using the Facebook mobile app. But the easiest way to access these settings is to use a web browser and visit facebook.com/off_Facebook_activity while logged into your account, and then select Manage Your Off Facebook Activity on the right side of the page. From here, you'll be able to see all the apps and websites that have sent your data to Facebook. Next, you can drill down and disable each one, or better yet, select Clear History at the top, which will clear all your current history from your account. Note that you'll be logged out of any apps or sites that you use the Facebook login feature to sign on. Now, the more powerful feature is to select the option to manage future activity. This will prevent Facebook from saving any app or service data in the future. For more details on these important settings, check out our show notes for a link to a great guide and walkthrough we've provided from the EFF. And now a word from our sponsor, Edgewise Networks. The biggest problem in security that remains unsolved are flat networks in cloud and data centers, with unprotected attack paths that allow threats to move laterally to cause data breaches. But microsegmentation using network addresses is complicated and takes too much time. But there's a better approach: Edgewise Zero Trust Auto Segmentation. Edgewise is impossibly simple microsegmentation, delivering results immediately with a security outcome that's provable. At the core of Edgewise Auto Segmentation is Zero Trust Identity, which allows workloads to communicate only after their software identity has been verified. Malicious or unimproved software is no longer allowed to communicate. Identity-based protection provides more coverage with fewer policies to make Edgewise simple to deploy and manage. No changes to the application or network are required. One solution protects virtual machines and containers in the cloud and on-premises. To stop lateral threat movement and prevent breaches, visit edgewise.net for a demo and to see results within minutes. According to new research from the EFF, the Ring Android app is apparently sending data to third-party trackers which can be used to identify customers of the popular smart camera and alarm company. Through EFF's research, 4 analytics and marketing companies are receiving customer data that includes names, IP address, mobile network carriers, unique identifiers, and information from sensors on the Android device. There was no mention of the Ring app for Apple iOS, but it most likely exhibits similar issues. Now, one of these companies receiving this data is Facebook, and that data includes things such as time zone, device model, language preferences, screen resolution, and a unique identifier. Outside of Facebook alone, the danger here is that analytics and marketing companies combine all of these pieces of data together to identify or profile your device, which can lead to finding more personal information about you. This is called device fingerprinting and is one of the most popular ways to track you online through the use of multiple devices, including your smartphone, laptop, and even your smart TV. In a Bleeping Computer article about the EFF's research, Ring reached out to state that they clearly indicate in their privacy policy that they ensure third-party service providers do not use this data for other purposes outside of their contract with Ring. Look, Ring is not the only company doing this and certainly won't be the last. The key for all of us that use apps like these is to continue to be aware of the data that these apps collect by reading stated privacy policies or by staying up to date with news about apps that may exhibit bad behavior. The more we can be educated about how our data is being used, the better decisions we can make to use a particular app or not. Last week, the infamous Joker's Stash, the largest credit card trading forum on the dark web, put up for sale payment card details of more than 30 million Americans and over 1 million foreigners. Card details for US-issued cards are going for about $17, while international cards are going for much more at $210 per card. The card dump was named Big Bada Boom 3, and according to security experts, the card data has been traced back to the Wawa credit card breach, which happened back in December of last year. This data breach was caused by malware that was installed on Wawa convenience store point-of-sale terminals, which let attackers collect credit card data from all of its 860 stores, 600 of them which are also gas stations. According to the investigation, the malware operated from March 4th to December 12th of last year without being detected. This data breach is now listed as one of the largest in U.S. history, right up there with 2014's Home Depot data breach of 50 million payment cards, and the 2013 Target breach, which compromised 40 million payment cards. Credit card breaches like this one are great reminders to be vigilant when reviewing your credit card statements, setting up fraud alerts on your credit card, and making sure you never use a debit card for purchases. Finally, use more secure methods of payment like Apple or Samsung Pay on your mobile device, especially for online transactions if the merchant supports it. Otherwise, your best secure payment option is using good old cash. That's a wrap for this week's show. Visit our website, sharedsecurity.net, for previous episodes, links to our social media feeds, our YouTube channel, and to sign up for our email newsletter. First-time listener to the podcast? Please subscribe wherever you like to listen to podcasts. And if you like this episode, please share it with friends and colleagues. Thanks for listening, and see you next week for another episode of the Shared Security Weekly Blaze.